We're with Superintendent of Schools Sean Horne here at Russell Independent Schools. And Sean, a lot going on in your district, and I thought I'd stop by and we'd try to have our little monthly conversation. So the big thing that's going on is a high school activity that we talked about a little bit. Let's talk about the plans for this ACT prep program and the district cooperation you're trying to build.
Before we begin, as always, I'd like to thank you, Hank, for allowing me the opportunity to speak about the district. Yeah, the ACT prep, that is an adventure right now. We're in the very preliminary stages of that. I've had some conversation with Superintendent Horsley and been in contact with Superintendent Coldiron at Raceland and Greenup respectively. And we really want to do something. A lot of our kids right now will travel some good distances to have some ACT preparation. And we've been collaborating with Ashland Community and Technical College, Dr. Atkins and Steve Woodburn. Really appreciate both of them looking at using their facility to do some ACT preparation. That's kind of unique. It's something that we've never done because we would like to have that at a site that is not necessarily representative of any of our school districts. We definitely want to offer our juniors and seniors the opportunity to get some ACT preparation at a location that would not have a Russell designation or a Greenup designation or a Raceland designation. It'll be about Greenup County. And we've had some good conversation. Hopefully next week the three superintendents and the three high school principals will be able to maybe carve out some time so that we can kind of talk about the logistics of that. And, you know, we've got some things, you know, we're looking at setting up some sessions for parents and giving them information about FAFSA, KEYS money, you know, the beginning stages of getting prepared to go to college. And, you know, we've got really big plans. We want to start small and make sure that, you know, we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's. But I think this is something that if it goes off really well in collaboration with the college, that we can probably continue to do in the future. And, you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, every kid from every school district can benefit from that. And, you know, ACT is very content specific. If you have a child that struggles in math, it would give them an opportunity to be with one of the best teachers in one of the three districts, maybe in able to get some specific math instruction and test-taking strategies and tips to improve their ACT. As you know, we've talked a lot about K-Prep and the importance of that, but the bottom line is, you know, any kid that's looking to move into college, whether it be a 2-year institution or a 4-year institution, that ACT is a critical piece to it. And as we've explained to our kids, and I'm sure that conversation took place in the other districts, there's a lot of money that's tied to that, and 1 point can mean thousands of dollars. So we want to put our kids in Greenup County in the best possible situation so that they can really get a lot of you know, experience and be able to have a good day collaborating with peers from other districts, and hopefully that'll be a benefit to them.
A couple more things about this. One, the state has mandated that all juniors take the ACT test. It's not an option.
It is not optional.
And additionally, unless it's changed, and I sent 4 to college and you went to college, you either have, some schools accept the SAT scores, but I believe all Kentucky schools require an ACT score.
Yeah, that's correct. And, you know, our juniors, you know, that's part of our accountability process at the high school level as far as all juniors. And actually, you know, in all of our districts, we have kids that are taking that. You know, my son last year as a 7th grader took the ACT. You know, my wife and I had, you know, little expectations, but we wanted him to get accustomed to the process and what that was going to be like. And you know, like I said, we want to put our kids in. You know, when I went to high school, not that wasn't not that there wasn't emphasis placed on it, but not the way.
It's just a test you took.
It's not the way that it is today.
No. Well, and schools weren't ranked by that. I mean, fortunately, in this last batch of test results released, Russell was at the top of the Eastern Kentucky scale. But you could fall, and then you have to make adjustments to that.
Absolutely, and you know, a lot of folks are not familiar with, you know, the way the system is set up right now. You know, our 8th graders take the Explorer test, our 10th graders take the plan test, and our 11th graders take the ACT. All of those assessments are packaged in the ACT. So the Explorer is kind of like the miniature version of that, so to speak, and it gives you a projection of how they'll do on the plan. And then the plan will give them a projection of how they'll do on the ACT. We want to prepare kids. We want our kids to be familiar with how to take the assessment, and we definitely want our kids to be successful. But the bottom line is we're really trying to help our parents because there are major dollars that's tied to that.
Right.
And especially, like, as you mentioned, if they stay in state, there's a lot of incentive for us to continue to push our kids and make sure that they have all the tools to be able to sit down and do a quality job on that assessment.
One of the things that I've seen in post-secondary education in Kentucky is for years that they would go out of state and look for blue chippers, and now they realize that their best bet is to start from the center and recruit their own blue chippers before trying to attract out-of-state students, which magnifies the amount of money it takes because out-of-state costs more.
Absolutely. And, we have quite a few kids that attend Morehead State. We have quite a few kids that attend the University of Louisville, quite a few kids that attend University of Kentucky, and on and on and on. There's a lot of emphasis. Again, I don't want to make light of K-Prep by no means, but if you really want to see how your kids stack up nationally, the ACT is where it's at.
So let's move on now. You have other things going on in the district, so let's talk about, let's stay at the high school for just a minute. High school and middle school, your academic teams are starting to crank up, your archery team's starting to crank up, your science Olympiad. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Had a conversation with one of our coaches last night, and we for multiple years at both levels, we've been state champions in science Olympiad. We're very proud of that. But it's crazy to think that, we feel like that season just ended, and now we're in the beginning stages of preparing to do it all over again. Staying with the Science Olympiad, countless hours. Those kids put in countless hours. Talked to a parent about the build events last night, and they were talking about some sort of ball projecting so far and all the math and science that's involved in that. Very complicated.
Right.
And, our kids are very serious about that, had a lot of success. Academic team received notice from our high school coach, Kirk Barnett. Our academic team competed in Dayton, Ohio, did very well, qualified for NAQT, which we've been involved in for the past few years. That's back in full force. Middle school, my son is fortunate enough to participate in that. They're practicing after school now and before school, so we're in full swing as far as the academic side of it. You mentioned archery. That's kind of a sport that a lot of folks don't really talk about a lot, and I think it's just kind of an unknown. We're still new in the state of Kentucky. Man, it's great for us because we have a slew of kids.
Joe Aldridge, I believe.
Joe Aldridge is our high school coach that's involved in that. And we have an absolute slew of kids that's involved. And I say we have well over 100 kids that's participating in that. And that's gaining a lot of speed here locally. They actually use the Cova Mall. And Coach Aldridge told me that they were going to permanently have that set up like now through March.
Right.
And each school in the area is going to be able to host a tournament. We're already phasing into the winter sports and the winter activities, and it's full swing.
One of the big things I want to point out about, and we might grow Joe's head a little bit, but he's also part of the academic side. He's not just a jock coach. He is also part of the academic team.
Yeah, he teaches physics at the high school. He teaches some math sections at the high school. Solid teacher, and he's basically doing double duty right now.
Right.
He is archery coach, and he is fully covered up during Science Olympiad season and does a phenomenal job. Like I said, a lot of our teachers actually use their own time at home, have equipment at home to help set things up and work with our kids. And he's one of many that does a great job for us there.
The intermediate school is in the throes of the Leader in Me, and just talk a little bit about that. I know it won't be fully rolled out until the end of this month, but tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, they're having a leadership day on November 21st at Russell McDowell. For the past couple years, Russell McDowell's been designated as a Leader in Me school. Long story short on that, that's based around Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. For first day those kids walk into Russell McDowell, they're kind of indoctrinated into the 7 Habits, and that basically drives what they do during the day. Miss Aldridge and her staff is really bought into that, and it's starting to filter out. There's actually a group that's headed up with Miss Aldridge is a part of that. Some Greenup County folks, some folks at KDC that's plugged into. I think Argolite Elementary, very fond of Argolite.
You were principal.
I was principal at Argolite. They're plugged into the Leader in Me, and they're doing some Leader in Me initiatives there. Brock Walter, Superintendent Boyd County, he's looking at possibly bringing some Leader in Me things there. So it's good character. It's something that's been there for a long time, but we're kind of refocusing and circling back to character and integrity and treating folks with respect. It's giving the kids a clear focus of what they need to do, and it's a great program. And Miss Aldridge is hosting that on November the 21st. I've seen invitations out to all the local superintendents and get information to their principals and possibly participating in that. And we're going to have a big shindig over there on the 21st, and really look forward to that. It's a great program, and definitely folks are available to come out and support that. Get with me. I'd be happy to share information.
Good. Our time's up. Next time we visit, we'll talk about the middle school and the primary school.
Okay, again, Hank, thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Sean.